Hi, my name is Ruta Matuleviciute and welcome to my exhibition Animal Farm. The idea for this exhibition came once I realized that the place where the gallery is situated was actually a meat combine or meat factory, mėsos kombinatas, in Vilnius, Žemieji Paneriai, which worked since 1958 and was managed by the Soviets once Lithuania was in the Soviet Union. So for me, as a 13 plus years vegetarian, this place is a rather grotesque one, and immediately I thought I should use that emotion to get something good out of it. So these funny animals came and I was so happy to paint each one of them. In fact, the pig was the first one, and when I painted it I felt, oh, it's so cute, and I said to that painting, "You're so cute," while painting it. So it was complete joy, and the exhibition curator Elena Antanaviciute was such a great help for me, along with the exhibition designer Aurelija Bernataite. They were just so amazing during this project. Everything was so smooth, and I'm so happy with the process. It was like a game, just like the paintings themselves and all the process while painting. That was my aim, actually, to make an exhibition with friends, which is so nice to create, and the process is amazing and natural and very joyful. So I think I succeeded staying in that joy, and I guess it shows in the exhibition itself. Along with the 5 paintings in this rather tiny gallery, there is an installation piece which reminds the childhood, and it is called the Sandbox. It is a tactile experience to observe this installation. You can touch the sand and reveal a Lithuanian fairy tale which was written down by an anonymous folklore heritage gatherer. And it is about animals, and I'm having thoughts that perhaps the gatherer was the actual author, and it is not the folk lore. So I like this mystery, and this tale was written down in in the beginning of the 20th century. So that's nice. Also, the source of that is Lithuanian Folklore Institute archives. These archives are open to everyone. There are tales and other forms of folklore gathered by very famous Lithuanian culture people. So it is a very nice database to explore and to get inspired by the old wisdom told in a form of tales, songs, and I think there were even some magical rituals. I remember one ritual about the banishment of snakes, I guess, and there are also some magic against certain illnesses. So that's very nice to explore. They are also written down in either Lithuanian, which is old and it understand, or they are in Polish, or they are written in Kirillitsa but in Lithuanian, but just the writing system is different. So that's also very nice to observe and think about the history of Lithuania, when it formed, when it established the independence and then lost it again to Germans and to Russians, and then restored the independence again. I guess this place is the heritage. It's an absolute mark of that heritage of being occupied and being in the, not by own will, being dependent on somebody else's government and management, and being dependent on other systems. I also really like to think about all kinds of different political systems and cultural beliefs and all kinds of societal knowings and society's culture, I guess, which is a norm. At one time it is a norm, and then throughout history it changes depending on different changes of the environment and changes in the collective consciousness of the people, what is acceptable and what is not. And throughout the ages, I guess this changed a lot of times, and these cycles just keep happening. But in one person's life, it can be kind of hard to spot that. You have to look at the longer time span to see the bigger picture and see those changing beliefs and cultural and societal norms. But I guess in everyone's life, when you grow up in certain culture, you believe it is okay, certain things are okay and other things are not, but that can change in a 10 years time span or something like that, just by changing collective consciousness. And one thing that was a norm and even perhaps held as a virtue in several years, it can be changed absolutely and seen as a sin perhaps, or not normal thing. So to me, Animal Farm, this exhibition, and the concept of my exhibition, Animal Farm, is about the utopian utopian view of the world and of the society, and I guess bringing animals to the animal combine, to the meat combine, animals which are happy. The chicken family is on the holiday by the sea, and the pig is so very happy, and the rabbit is in the Stockholm's bay screaming of joy and enjoying the rainbows appearing behind him. So these animals are totally from a different world, and they are bringing the fragment of utopian perspective to this place. And so I invite everyone to think about if they perhaps also are in some kind of societal and cultural structure, and they are thinking according to that structure's norms, suggested norms, and if they are actually good, and if they are actually supported and go in accordance with all the natural laws which are seen in nature. The exhibition was opened with a small tea party, a very cute one, and this was done very this was kind of a performative experience. And my idea was to spread the image of a sober artist, of the healthy artist who takes care of their own well-being and who is actively engaging in their own progress. By that I mean in their own progress as a human being, because I do not believe that you can actually see the art not connected to the artist. Yes, I think they are always connected, and each of their work which reaches the audience just has the artist's energy and their state of being. And I think one has to care what the artist does, how they live. Either they are growing consciously, progressing, and they are working on themselves, or are they indulging in very unhealthy behaviors and just damaging their own nervous system and their environment. I believe that the artist must develop themselves to create the art which enhances the environment and which is good and supportive for the environment. My own approach to the creation is always consciousness-based creativity, which means that I just simply every day for 20 minutes and 2 times a day I practice Transcendental Meditation, and which allows me to reach that state of inner silence and inner happiness from which everything emerges, including the ideas, the thoughts, and everything. And with the time, when the practice continues and I become more and more familiar with the practice and more familiar with that state of inner bliss, that bliss actually just starts growing in my waking life when I do my daily activities, including the painting and everything else. So I believe, and there are actually some research done, that by growing myself, by developing myself, I am able to create better art, which is more relevant and more beneficial for the environment. And this is not positive thinking kind of thing, which is actually really toxic. It is just constant daily practice of bettering yourself and developing your mind, your brain, and your nervous system, which is the receptor of the ideas and of everything in life. So I believe that this tradition developed to have the talks with wine during the exhibition openings. I believe this is really toxic as well, and this is not helpful at all. So I'm actually starting a new trend, which is very funny actually, because it's only natural to not be wasted all the time. But yes, I'm starting the new trend of the sober art, which is so much more elevated it is actually supporting the culture and not destroying it. And I feel responsible to keep that healthy approach to what I create, what I show to the people, and what I provide to the environment. So for me to provide the best I can, I have to be the best I can. Societies always evolve, they change and progress, and perhaps at times the cycle brings that society to the regression point, but then there is the progression. And these cycles just keep repeating themselves, and just like in the nature also has the cycles. You can look at the day cycle, which is very tiny compared to the time, comprehension of time. Also you can look at the time of the year changing, also of human lives and of the changing society. Yeah, we come to society again. And it is just all repeating and circling around, and from the perspective of one human life, all the little things are very big, and all the governments are really big, and all the disasters are really terrible, each one of them. But actually this is kind of a transformation process, and if you could transcend, I guess this could be a very nice term for this. If you could transcend the pain and your own perspective, when your own life is threatened, what can you see? You see those cycles again, the cycles of transformation and of evolution. So I guess this is really significant, and also this time, this current time, is really significant in the transformation. So these animals just propose a different utopian perspective, and they are bringing some happiness to a highly transformative time, which is requiring a lot of energy from everyone. Each of the animals is a farm animal, and also reference to George Orwell happens because I want to have several layers of different understandings of this concept of the exhibition. So I guess such a strong reference does really widen the whole experience of this tiny little cute exhibition. It is not supposed to be grotesque or satirical or cynical, which is very common in today's art. It's supposed to be optimistic, playful, and open. Of course, if you want to receive it as cynical idea, you can. So I'm really enjoying this vastness of possibilities to understand what is actually happening with this idea. Thank you for watching.